you, Stu. Welcome to the show, everyone. Hope you're going good, having a good Sunday night. Now, keep the applause going, Fletcher and Hindy. And I'll tell you what, tonight, a couple of Tigers legends. Been a Tigers fan growing up, two of my heroes. Firstly, Benny Elias. And secondly, a man who played both in Australia and played predominantly in England. Mate, he won titles, he won a golden boot. And when you talk about the greatest English players of all time, you talk about this bloke, Garry Schofield. Let's go. Scoey, mate, the trip out, what's it all about? You see you got some of your mates in the front. I've got to say this, Scoey, the bloke in the front looks like Alexis Sale. Actually, they all look like Alexis Sale. The one that looks like Alexis Sale's dad. He was telling me he was just up at Cairns, right? And he gets there and he said, "Oh, geez, I didn't better put some sunscreen on." Puts it on, he goes, "Geez, I'm gone brown already. Look at this." It was fake tan. You vain bastard. Hey, Scully, it must be nice for you to come out here and be so warmly received.
Oh, absolutely. And let's say, I've been here now nearly 3 weeks, going to be here for 4 weeks, and mainly for the state of origin. We've been down in Perth for a week. I was in Melbourne for a week, and we're here for a week from there. And it's free from point of view, 3 occasions. It's 40 years since I made my Balmain debut back in 1985. Wow. Taking an intercept off the great Peter Sterling. I'm here to celebrate my 60th birthday, and as I say, first time I've ever seen State of Origin live. We had a great party yesterday. Craig Coleman put on a great party with the boys there. With Benny and the great Balmain Tigers, and you could imagine what sort of day that was. But the emotional and the respect I've got from everybody, I can't thank everybody enough, to be honest with you.
Good on you, Scott. Good on you. And Tiger Ben, mate, the boys turned it on for Scully today.
Oh, mate, timing is everything. And seeing the Tigers too. Under enormous pressure, coming on here. It would have been 7 in a row, but the boys played well there at Allianz Stadium. Great. It was really good effort, and congratulations to Benji and all of his boys.
Fantastic. We're going to have a look at that game and see where you two blokes are just going.
Yeah, I'm going pretty good. I didn't get to go to the netball. Nathan went to the netball last night.
Good, dude. Yeah. It's good. The netty's good. I was courtside.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Pretty good. It's impressive.
You're there by yourself.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't there by myself. Yeah. I was sitting by myself for a while.
I had a mate who went to your restaurant the other day, or your cafe the other day.
Yeah.
Food joint. You had the cheeseburgers, so it was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Is he out of hospital yet? Or?
Yeah, he's just recovered.
We went out to...
He actually went there. He thought it was a drug front, but no, it's okay. No, but it is very good. You go there if you want to go.
Yeah.
Give it a plug.
It's a tuck shop, Glenhaven Road, Glenhaven. Yeah. But we also went out to Winterfest today for a bit of a shoot. That was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. We'll see it. We will see it a bit later, not tonight, but in the next couple of weeks you'll see
there
us
was
out
some
there. Pixies. We saw some pixies.
Yeah, right. It's like a medieval
goblins.
thing.
Goblins.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Right up your alley, boys.
No, it was good.
Some wenches.
Yeah, a lot of wenches.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Excellent.
Now, you're allowed to call them that.
Yeah. Now, just quickly, one serious thing before the show really gets going. Look, condolences to the Cameron Munster and his family. The passing, the news of his father, Steve, passing away. He was a terrific bloke, Steve, and great family, and I can only imagine what an awful time it is for you. So from all of us here, our deepest condolences, thoughts and prayers. Good on you guys. So, and now, big show coming up. We've got Fletcher at the VB Bar, Give Me 5. We've got Garry Schofield's Greatest Hits, which is something to see. Manly 30-12. Boys, Manly starting to find a bit of stride.
Yeah, they are. And I thought the talking point of the day was having Cheese back, Brandon Smith back for South Sydney. But South just couldn't. 24 missed tackles in the first half. You can't win footy games missing that many tackles. And they were never in control. South Manly, they just chipped away and found the little kinks and the weaknesses in the defence of the South Sydney. Like this try here, for instance, this is probably what I'm talking about the most. Just the fact that Jurbo can come in so far across backfield and no one gets near him and he scores a try. So just bits and pieces like that for South Sydney. But, well done to Manly. Had a bit of a shaky season, but back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, we'll let you know, two people, as Hindy said, Brandon Smith making his debut for South Sydney today, and he's come off an ACL, Brandon, and with about 10 minutes to go, he left the field holding that same knee. So we'll keep you updated. We believe at the moment that he hasn't redone it, so fingers crossed he hasn't. But as I said before, we'll let you know what's going on there. But boys, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, Manly are a different animal, aren't they? At Brookvale Oval, they just seem to excel and just go far and beyond. Sold out crowd there, obviously. The great atmosphere in local footy is just phenomenal, isn't it? You know, with a capacity crowd like
fans turn out there.
They don't. They love it. They love their footy.
They enjoy a bit of Sunday Arvo footy at 4 points.
Yeah.
Scully, do you like seeing Tommy Turbo in the centres, or would you prefer him at fullback?
Oh, I prefer him at fullback, to be honest with you, because I think he's more effective. You know, he's got the more open space from there, so I prefer him at fullback, but he's still not a bad centre, is he?
Yeah, he's a decent player. Now, the Tigers 30 to 28 early today. Fantastic. Off the top, a special mention to the Fainu brothers. The three of them picked up a try. Fantastic. They were sensational. I thought Adam Dewey was terrific at 6. And I tell you what, a bloke, Fletcher, we take about 4, a young bloke who went into hooker. Of course, Appy was injured and Talon De Silva's left the club. Tristan Hope, mate, he dug in, Benny.
Yeah, when you see him, his service from dummy half is second to none. It's as good as I've seen anywhere. And I don't know where he's been hiding, this kid. I haven't seen him for...
He's been up in Queensland Cup for a long... He fires it out of dummy half, doesn't he?
And that first pass is so important for the other players, as we all know, is they get that fraction of a second more up their sleeve. And look, his defence was first class. And, you know, once you lose someone, there's always someone around the corner, and you know we've got a terrific depth there at the Tigers.
Your front rowers, when they were on the field together, Pole and May. I mean, May was again brilliant, but he wasn't too far behind him.
No, they were both,
and they haven't really had the luxury of having them both on the field. When they're both on the field playing together, it just it allows Dewey and young Fainu the space to, and that's what they did in that first half.
But also, too, the leadership from Alex Troll today.
First game as captain.
As skipper, he's 1 from 112. He's a champion, but he's had a good season too. But yeah, the Tigers, they seem to have a good game plan at the start of the game. It's played flat and fast, the quick play the balls, Dewey onto the ball, dummy half was getting out, and the younger forwards from the Chooks, they were gassed. They were gassed early. They were leaving a lot of gaps, and the Tigers took advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, boys, we're going to head back to 4 Pines Park and have a chat to our man, Jake Travojevic. Jake. Hey, Jake, how you going? Mate, it's been a difficult last 5-6 weeks, but a couple of wins in a row, just what you needed.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. It has been pretty tough, but yeah, to get a couple of wins, especially in front of a great crowd today on lots of former players here as well, is really nice, and heading into a bye, so hopefully that eases the pressure and everyone can be happy for a week or so.
Hey, Jakey, congratulations on the win, buddy. What about DCE's try celebrations? Did you come up with that? Did you tell him that he's getting a little bit on?
Yeah, I think he come up with that earlier in the year when he started getting the back spasms. So I guess he's nearly 40, so...
Jakey, Heine, mate, well done on a great win. Just on try celebrations, Ruben Garrick, I know you're meant to give money, you know, money goes to charity when you do a good celebration, but his was that shit. I think they're going to take money off him.
I reckon you should fine him. He got a $1,000 fine for, you know, in the judiciary early in the year. He nearly cried. So I reckon you should fine him for a terrible celebration.
Good on you, Jake. Well done, mate. Got the bye and then the Storm coming up. Go and enjoy the win, mate. That doesn't matter, mate. Go on your way.
Guys. Cheers.
Good on you, pal. There he goes. I love him. One of the great
He's the
blokes.
nicest bloke, Matty. I mean, that bloke is such... You just cannot not love him enough, that bloke. He's such a good bloke all round, and, you know, they're still the winning captain of the State of Origin series, and what a legend man of he just takes everything in his stride.
Great family.
Good man.
Great family. Now, my Maccas I'm loving at the moment, the debut of young Rooster Max McCarthy. Now, young Max, this week, an article by Christian Nicolussi, said that Max was a young man, never wanted to play rugby league, but Brian Fletcher did an appearance on the footy show with Channel 9 back in the day and did a shout-out for young players for the Paddington Colts, and he turned to his old man and he said, Dad, you know, can I have a game? And look at Fletcher.
There you go. There you go. That's what we do here. We make dreams a reality. No, yeah, he's a bona fide Roosters Junior, grew up in Bondi, so
He's the one.
There's not many of us.
Second one.
Just spitting them out left, right,
Second.
centre.
I mean, today there was only the 6 of them. There was only Teddy.
Yeah, because Bernie, if you sign them before 28 years of age, they're actually a junior.
Correct.
Oh, he said how it was.
Hey, just because Fletcher, you know, just letting people know, there'll be a lot of kids out there, a lot of disgruntled youth. Have you got any other words of inspiration? Maybe we don't talk about your lifestyle.
If you're going to graffiti trains, honestly, don't do it while the train is in motion. Wait till they're parked. Get your tag on there. I mean, it's dangerous.
Sage advice.
Yeah.
Well done, Fletch. Yeah. Excellent. 22-18, the Broncos over the Dogs. I'll tell you what, first half, Dogs led this game, Scully, 18-0. You were out at the game?
Yeah, I was there, yeah, and there was only one team in it for an hour. Yeah. But then the halfbacks there for the Broncos, in Reynolds and Izzaman, they just took over, didn't they? They got on that bit of roll. But also, too, what I was impressed with, certainly, was the 2 back rowers for the Broncos. And what I'd like to see more nowadays is back rowers running out nice and wide, hard and straight, rather than looking at coming back on the unders. And that's what literally got the Bulldogs out wide there on Friday night.
Oh, they were very, very good. As you said before, Scott, the first half, it was just going to be, you know, the Dogs by how many. And you're right about Ezra Mann. Like, he and Reece Walsh coming back into that side has given a bit more cut and thrust. But that's a big win for the Broncos.
But also, but they started going straight, didn't they? You know, they started going straight to the defence rather than just looking maybe to pass the ball early and going across the field. They went straight. The back row was nice and hard straight from there. Broke the defence, and in the end, fully deserved the victory.
Hey Benny, we said before, mate, Kevy Jean-Blake, Billy Walters, mate, he was the one that turned it around.
Oh, absolutely. I said that to Kevy here earlier today in the green room. I said, mate, your son is playing as good football as I've ever seen a number 9 play, and his impact to the Broncos is just phenomenal. He just knows his timing is good, his pass is very good, his vision is a kick. He kicks from dummy half. But the other night he turned the game for the Broncos.
He did, Benny.
No question.
All the noise about in the off-season they were training too hard. Well, now you can see why they train so hard. Because the back end of the half. They've done that twice now. They did it against Cronulla. Now they've done it against the Dogs.
Look at Shibasaki. I mean, the difference. You know, that hard. Mate, Payne has. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. That's 4 in a row for the Broncos. Sorry, mate. Now,
hang on. Why are you laughing?
Oh no, we just had a little bit of an in-joke there. Again, that tuck shot, mate, it's good stuff.
No,
I wouldn't be able to resist.
At the medieval, they had these giant turkey legs.
What did they?
They got massive ones, you know, like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Here's something for you I haven't thought of for a while. Whatever happened to the Pluto pup?
Easter show.
Yeah, Dagwood dog.
Yeah, Dagwood. Okay. I'll always be Pluto pup.
It's been replaced by the trendy chip on a stick.
Which is delicious.
Don't go for
I don't go for that either.
I do. Chicken salt.
What about you, Scully? How have you
Double up.
found our food out here?
The toffee
Have you found
apples?
the food?
Oh, yeah, very good. Kebabs, and chips.
And what about...
Have you eaten anything green? Like, we've got good salads and stuff.
Yeah. We're not going in the green room again.
Oh, okay.
We're not interested in salad and water.
what about cold beer, Scully? How do you enjoy that? Is that
Plenty.
So that warm cat's piss you got back
Oh,
home.
yeah, but we put a bit of ice in it now. But, myself and the boys, we're certainly enjoying the cold beers over here, yeah, absolutely.
Well, down the green room, as you said, we saw it. One of them saw a lettuce leaf and panicked. He didn't know what it was. Now, news through the week. Lots been said with Lockie Galvin going to the club. You know, what's this going to mean? Well, through the week, Reid Marnie's off to the Cowboys. Good signing for the Cowboys. Toby Sexton, Gaz, good pickup. Catalana's had a difficult season, but, mate, this bloke he's been very, very good in the last 12 months for the Bulldogs. And he'll be a good pickup for Catalan.
He will. He's very consistent, isn't he? And, the Catalans at this moment in time, certainly, they're a sinking ship. Yeah, an absolute sinking ship. And nobody understands it because when you look at that team on paper, it's quality, experience, and but Luke Carey, who's gone out this year, he's very disappointed by the way everybody's going. And the big problem for the Catalans is consistency.
Yeah.
Big consistency, you know, so it won't be easy for Sexton, but one thing for sure, hopefully, it'll bring that consistency and quality.
But can you believe it, Matty? Both of you played 7s and 6s over your career. Sexton's been the number 7 for the for the Bulldogs all year long, leading the premiership, and still not wanted.
It's very interesting.
What am I missing something?
It's interesting, Benny, what's going to happen from here because there's always been someone out. They've never actually been able to say, right, where the card's going to sit. I think, personally, because Burton played centre because Crichton was not there, but Crichton comes back, what happens? I think it's Sexton and Burton and young Galvin coming off as a 14 at the moment. You know, that's what it's done, abandon the mule that takes you to the top of the hill.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, why break something that's not broken? I mean,
That's right.
number 7 was going great.
The proof's in the pudding, yeah.
Pudding? In the pudding?
It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
It does.
My Maccas I'm loving at the moment was the Raiders fullback Kyle Weeks. He got a hat-trick yesterday. This kid just keeps improving. I suppose it typifies what this whole Raiders team is. They just keep fighting. Who would have thought that they are now bees away from minor premiership? They've got 2 more buys to come. Pretty soft draw.
Yeah, they'll wrap it up.
This kid here, in open field play, like I know Reece Walsh is very good. I know Teddy and Ponga, but this kid, when he gets the ball in his hand, he just...
Last year, the most improved player in the comp was Zach Lomax. KO's the most... He's the most improved player in the competition. Been fantastic. And they win again, 28-24. The Raiders keep rolling forward. I will say that there is one thing. The last 2 weeks... they've let their opposition back into it, so they've still got a little way to go. But they're enjoying a great season.
Yeah, they are. I feel that they just do enough. I mean, they got out to a bit of a lead here, 22-6. Whether or not they just sort of put the cue in the rack, but they were out there without their 2 best forwards in Big Papa and Hudson Young. So, but yeah, that's happened. It is becoming a trait, and when they get into the semi-finals. You can't be doing this sort of stuff.
Well, I asked you out in the green room who you thought would win the premiership, Matty, and the first thing you said, bang.
I think Raiders.
Raiders, straight away.
They got that sort of
hesitation.
feel about them, man. You can see the confidence growing. Yes, sorry for
Brashness.
Brashness.
Yeah. I mean,
It's in the pudding.
we're becoming our big words.
Yeah, mate, youth. Power of youth.
Youth, that's
Some would say naivety, but it's not.
No,
belief.
Yeah, belief. That's
Guys,
consistent. All that.
my Maccas
Proofs
I'm
of the
loving at the
pudding.
moment. It came from the same game, but it came from the press conference. Ricky Stewart defending Kyle Flanagan, which was very well said.
Yeah.
Did the booing from the crowd towards Kyle a spur on the team at all?
Never heard it. What would the crowd be booing Kyle for?
Just the kick in the conversion early in the game. They were quite passionate this camp.
I think they do that. Yeah, well, that's good on. That's going to happen everywhere.
Probably a poor question too when you ask Shane about his son. I think it's a disgrace how you guys in the media are just absolutely bashing a kid. I think it's a disgrace what his so-called supporters, the so-called Dragon supporters, the social media, the bullshit that he has to listen to and cop. The way that boy has handled that from a mental point of view to being able to turn up every week. And he said, I'm tough enough, I'll handle it. I know he is. But it's awful. He led the charge for that team tonight, and they nearly come back on the back of him winning that game.
Yeah, well done to Ricky. He's had a long association with the Flanagan family.
Yeah, and Kyle's been, I think, as Ricky said, he's been playing some outstanding footy. Kyle, he got the Eels. He got the win over the Eels the other week as well. So it's
the first time I've ever heard Ricky look after an opposition coach. I must say, a player.
But it was very well said.
It was very, very well.
He had the courage to say it, didn't he? I mean, he didn't have to say anything, but he came out on his own volition and just wanted to say, this is enough's enough.
Yeah.
And social media, I reckon it should be signed off your full name and a phone number and a contact your email.
That's right.
Incredible.
Yeah. And the address of the parents' house, because you're in the, what do they say, down in the basement on the computer. So. It was dead shits. Storm 26-20 over the Cowboys. I tell you what, really entertaining game of football, this one. And after the game, the Storm boys, probably symbolises what a tricky game this could have been. They were over the moon.
Yeah.
So, I know no Origin stars, but...
But both sides were down on personnel, but the amount of ball that Storm had early, they had 15 minutes of ball in that first opening, 20 minutes, really gassed the Cowboys. But as soon as the Cowboys went down the other end, they managed to score points.
Yeah.
It was only the fact that the Storm kept the Cowboys away from their own end was the fact I think they got away with the win. But I thought Jakey Clifford was outstanding.
He was very good.
Awesome out there. Who else was... Meany at fullback. I thought for the Storm, filling in there for Pappenhausen was great.
And Pap's injured just before the game. He goes to fullback. Guys, a lot of these blokes, Nick Meany and King and a few of them, like the Melbourne Storm, a lot of time like Grant Anderson, I'm sorry, he was, mate, actually playing in the local comp in Newcastle. A lot of times they don't buy superstars, mate. They buy blokes who were at the time playing reserve grade and they make them into stars.
They make them into stars, and also too, they all know the system straight away, don't they? You know, I'm led to believe that before they come to Melbourne, this is the way that's going to be. You want to be part of us, or you don't from there. But again, with Melbourne, they've done it for a few years now. They find a way to win, don't they?
Oh, yeah,
they find a way to win, and then when the business end of the season comes, they know how to handle the pressure.
They do.
That's what makes them so good.
It's been remarkable. It has been. Now, Jim Beam's dynamic duo, because some things are just better together, and you won't get anything better than these two blokes coming back together. Liam and Noel Gallagher, and the return of Oasis. Of course, big reunion. They returned the other night in Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. I think it's something like 70,000 people, and unsurprisingly, the place just went off.
I just want to know, why weren't we there, Matthew? Like, I thought you said we were all going over there to do a show, check out Oasis.
We'll wait till they get to Germany and maybe we'll make it.
Go to Germany?
Yeah, sounds
No,
good.
I would love to go and see Oasis. I'm going to try and get tickets when they're out here.
We'll do our best,
We'll do our best. I think we know some people that
we do know
they know some people.
Yeah,
but nothing like the next person we're going to speak to.
Oh, mate. Well, people, if you think that was exciting and just going off, you've seen nothing to do with it. Let's go to Fletcher, the VB bar.
Thank you, Matthew. The boys love this segment, don't you? It's up there with the best segment ever. Okay, let's have a look at this after round 18. Or Terrell May, we just talked about this young fella before. 117 points, and Nafahu White 103. So well done to the big front rowers in that game. But the winner this week goes to an Englishman, and I haven't just done this because we've got our guests from Northern England. This is Morgan Smithies. This was he got 68 points, 13 runs, 105 metres, 39 tackles. Pretty impressive in his own right. But the reason why we gave it is because of this. This is his first try in the NRL. He beat 7 of them, chip and chase, and scored in the corner, or he just did this. So Morgan Smithies, he'll remember that for the rest of his life. He's a good player, isn't he? A lot of good young players coming. Now, don't forget, we've got these. So, Victoria Bit has teamed up with Mitre 10. And look at this. I didn't even know about this. Every case wins a voucher. And you can use that, as I mentioned last week. I mentioned this week, you get some nails, maybe a tool bag. So you get the vouchers, $10, $25 or $50. And to redeem your voucher, head to vbmightytoolbox.com.au. And don't forget the big... what was that?
Don't go off early, boys.
Yeah. The big leg, the VB Big Leg Up finishes tonight, so make sure you get your entries in, and your junior club could get $50,000.
So, Fletch, so Mitre 10, you can buy spray paint there?
You can buy spray paint.
Yeah, but just don't do it when
you
trains...
need to show ID.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
They're in behind the cage. You've got to be 18 or over to get spray cans. But you don't have to buy spray cans. You can get anything else. Hot water bottles.
Mate, if it's good enough for Banksy, it's good enough for our kids.
Exactly. Is that what he uses? Banksy does that?
Who's that?
Banksy. Does he use that?
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
It's proofs in the...
I'm going to give some VB out to everyone.
He knows how to win them over. We'll take a break now. Face to face this week is the great Laurie Daley.
When you look one another in the eye, you don't let anyone down. The greatest respect that you can have as a footballer is that you have the respect from the players and the opposition. You get respect off the opposition by playing hard.
He does it himself!
What was it about that flush of blue?
I never really thought I was a chance. You remember how he made you feel in 89?
Queensland absolutely annihilating New South Wales.
He said, mate, you can have that moment on him in this game, if you want.
You extinguished the dynasty.
Yeah.
You did it.
Oh, that was pretty special.
The emotion running over.
And you get the opportunity to captain Australia?
One of the greatest honours you can have, isn't it?
He scored!
Ricky Stewart was named captain of the Raiders. How did that sit with you?
Welcome back, gang. This week's Rugby League Bazaar takes us over to the UK and the first ever Magic Round back in 2007. Let's take a look. How bizarre.
Burrow, short ball, Ellis. That's probably the match. That's probably the match for Bradford. the scrum base, but this is not deliberate. No, it's not. It's not, you know. It comes off the boot of the Leeds player. The boot of the Leeds player. He's got it wrong. He has got it very wrong indeed, and they will go for the 2 points. This to get Leeds a point. Kevin Sinfield. Sinfield hits the ball. Oh! It's gone. There's more controversy here. The Hodge has gone. Was the ball down or not? It was. Well, Leeds have won it. What a controversial end. The penalty should not have been given. They're all offside, aren't they? They've got to be in front of the kicker. They're all offside. As he goes through, there's 1 or 2. There are 2 in front. Steve Ganson has ended this weekend with a nonsense, I'm sorry to say. They're offside. It should not have been allowed. It should not have been a penalty in the first place.
Yeah. Tell you what, Scully, you played 250 games for Leeds. 250. You're born in Leeds, played a fair stint at Hull, about 150 games. Do you see yourself predominantly as a Leeds player?
Oh, I would say so, yeah, but if it wasn't for Hull, Matty giving my opportunity at 18 years of age, then obviously I wouldn't have been the player I was, because at that time Hull was the around about the Ulster Rovers, the best team going, and I had quality players: Steve Norton, Dave Topless, Trevor Skirrett, a great young Lee Crooks, Mick Crane, great ball handlers, and they just made my job easier. And giving opportunity at 18 years of age to play with quality players like that was a massive help. But yeah, Leeds is my club.
Yeah. Okay. Now we just spoke about Brandon Smith before. Wayne Bennett's just addressed the media at 4 Pines Park. That's what he had to say.
I know always going to go eyes on Brandon today. How is he from that late one?
He's done a medial ligament. He'll be 6 to 8 weeks from that tackle.
I'll get tackle in a second.
That's up to them to make a decision on it now, but you know, we're not playing with a lot of luck, and we didn't get any there in that decision either.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough on Brandon. Out for 12 months and then come back and do a medial ligament. Boys, State of Origin decided Wednesday night at Core Stadium in Sydney. We spoke before about Cameron Munster losing his father, Steve. This is what Billy Slater said early today.
Unfortunately, we woke to the sad news of the passing of Cameron Munster's father, Stephen Munster, overnight. Cam will exit camp to be with his family before rejoining his team for the game on Wednesday. On behalf of myself, our footy team and the state of Queensland, we send our thoughts, our love and condolences to Stephen Munster's family and friends, in particular his wife, Debbie, his daughter, Danielle, and of course, his son, Cameron. Thanks.
There you go. And great support there. Some things are more important than the game, even State of Origin. Munster is the man, though. There's no doubt about it, Benny. One thing about Munster, he's physically and mentally tough. Yeah. And, mate, he'll turn up. Apparently he's going to be there for the captain's run, have a couple of days with the family there for captain's run. Mate, he will turn up, and I have no doubt in the world he'll have a huge game.
No, it's certainly a real shattering news. It's shattering news for all, not just Queensland, it's for all of Australia, you know. I think on behalf of everyone, I think everyone pours out their well wishes for Munster and his family. And, you know, it's I don't know how they approach this. You know, this is something out of the ordinary, Matty, as you'd know, leading into a State of Origin finale. How you prepare yourself for this is unbeknown to me. It's just territory that I've never been in, where a player's had a death in the family, and 3 days later he's playing the biggest game of his life. Yeah. It's going to be tough stuff. Billy Slater's obviously a very, very good coach, and will work on, you know, work on this all for the energy for Munster and his family, you know, and for Queensland,
and
as we discussed.
Big Papa, he'll be having a fair bit to say there. Josh Papali'i coming into the squad, and he'll be very important in the next couple of days. When we talk about the game, boys, the clash of the centres. Let's talk about that. And one thing about centres, you know, you still, a lot of positions these days, you don't get one-on-one battles. In centre, you do. And we have Stephen Crichton and Latrell Mitchell against Robert Toya and Shibasaki. As far as dealing with or playing in high-pressure matches, the Queensland boys aren't in the same postcode.
No, it's pretty much chalk and cheese. I thought in game one that was probably a tactic that we didn't use, give them early ball, because they can beat anyone. Both, like, it was going to the left with Latrell, and then on the other side we've got Stevie Croft. Whether the weather had something to do with it, but it is a huge ask to be making your debut in the centre position in a decider in Origin. So Gemmett has obviously impressed and handled it, but it is a big ask.
With Shibasaki, it's a great story. I mean, he debuted in 2018, Scully, and he went Broncos, Knights, Japanese rugby, Cowboys, back to the Broncos, and he only stayed a stint here and a stint there, and this year he's just come out of the ground. And it's a great story, but there's no doubt about it. Like there's no heartfelt sentiment in rugby league. You're going to get out there. It is a risk.
It is quality, but also too, when you do look at, I say, Crichton and Latrell, they remind me of Mal Meninga and Gene Miles. You know,
spot on.
Back in the day, but also they have got to use them. They have got to use them more. They've got to use them early. And if I can remember 2 years ago, I can remember when Tom Tavojevic and Latrell was playing, and them two, they doubled up all the time.
Linking around,
And Queensland could not handle them. Queensland could not handle them. So if New South Wales do this and do it very, very early, I reckon they will destroy the back line of Queensland.
I don't know. I can't understand for the life of me, Scully, why teams don't do that more. You know, that you have these great players that stay in a 10-metre corridor. Surely smart players can see that coming over here, there's no threat. I'll just swing to the other side, create a mismatch.
Well, why do you want a beast of a player like Latrell and Crichton just stood there on 10 yards just doing nothing? They need to be used, don't they?
Yep,
and I can reassure, because I know that's what we used to do back in our day. And then also too, when the Australians, when they put Meninga and Miles opposite you, the two of them together, I can reassure you, it was quite frightening.
Yeah,
you
went to the other side for a totally different reason.
I went up tying my shoelaces, I can reassure you. But Latrell and Crichton, New South Wales, if they are going to win this game on Wednesday, they need to be involved very early.
Yeah, right. Benny, playing in decider, very, very special. You captained 2 deciders, you played in 3. First one, 1991. You lost that one. It was Wally Lewis's final game. I mean, geez, tough game to win.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Wally was state of origin football, wasn't he? And, you know, to go into a finale with his last game ever up there at Lang Park was almost going to be impossible. And, you know, and it was. It was impossible. We got beat. And the King reigned. He got up there on his throne and was very boisterous, and there he is, and deservingly so, one of the greatest of all times, and that's the best way to finish his career.
Now, 1992, you won it. Geez, you had a great side in 92.
92, great side, you know, and probably Laurie Daley being the most impressive amongst those players. He was just dynamite. His kicking game, his short play was really good, and his physical defence was just phenomenal. There's E.T. at his best in 92, I thought, and Gus Gould just sort of had that knack to get us all together. Gus, you know, told us stories before we went to bed, and you just go to bed with your eyes closed, dreaming about what...
Hang on.
Not dreaming about Gus.
Hang on, Benny.
Are you sure about that?
Benny.
Are you sure about that?
Benny, Gus wasn't in the room, was he?
Gus wasn't in the room. No.
Right, sorry. I just had visions of Gus like reading a book.
And 94, Benny, and through that period, like in this 94 decider, 27-12, I remember the next day speaking to Chief in a really important part of the game, and Chief, the game was in the balance. I think it was the game 2. The game was in the balance, and Laurie came out and scored a really important try to get us across the line. And I said to Chief, how did you feel? Did you feel like, because it felt like you were out of control? He said, no, I knew we'd win. And I said, well, how did you know you win? He said, because we had Laurie Daley.
Yeah.
And great captain.
Oh, great captain. And I remember that from the very kick-off in 94, game 3 up there at Lang Park, or Suncorp Stadium, they call it today, Laurie Daley lined up Mal Meninga and absolutely smashed him in half. And I just thought, from that first tackle, there was no way in the world we're going to lose this one. And everyone just followed. That was the greatest leadership I've ever seen, other than Steve Mortimer in game 2 at the Sydney Cricket Ground when we won the game, when we won the series for the very first time.
It's only that 94 game. Laurie tells a story that if you go back to Laurie's first ever Origin game, he was up against Laurie had a shocker. Mal just, toyed with him and really bullied him. And he said to Gus afterwards, Gus asked him, he said, why? Why did you play that way? And he said, because Mal was like a father figure, I thought he'd take it easy on me. And he bullied me. Anyway, he said, 94, Gus said, it's your time. He said, when they come and in the game and they come and ask you, right, it's time for the captains to toss the coin, I want you to hide in the toilet, right? And no, Gus wasn't there, okay? So, no. He said...
I think he may have been.
And he said, hide in the toilet. He said, make Mal wait. So Laurie went in the toilet, waited for 5 minutes, and he went out there and he said Mal was furious. And he said it was just an example of how, the power had changed and got it done. Hey, Scully, the Ashes returns at season's end. Wembley, Everton Stadium in Liverpool, and then Headingley. Just so important for the game, particularly in England.
Absolutely, and can't wait because what has it been, 22, 23 years since the Ashes have been from there. And Benny will tell you as well, 2 generations of Miss Kangaroo tours and Great Britain tours as well coming out here as British Lions. And I can tell you, the British public, we can't wait for the Kangaroos to come over. Are we going to win the Ashes again? Time will tell. A little bit surprised this week, Freddie Fittler was offered the job, but he's turned it down. But also to a little bit surprised of Freddie's comments by saying, the preparation, they don't seem to be taking it seriously enough about the training grounds, about the hotels, which I find a little bit strange because, as far as I know, with the Australians, they've always been very professional, very meticulous in their planning. So, because I can reassure you, if they don't plan right, Sean Wayne, we've got a pack of forwards who'll compete with you, but again, it's just that back line of ours and the half-backs, the creativity that may be just a little bit lacking. But if the Aussies don't prepare properly, who knows what's going to happen? Are we going to win the Ashes for the first time in 55 years, boys?
You've got as much chance as Queensland.
All those boys, the AA meetings that way, fellas.
OK, well, it's now time. Do you know about TikTok, Scully? Benny, you've heard of TikTok?
Oh, of course I have.
Well, now it's time for the TikTok ladder. Let's have a look at this. So the NRL Bulldogs, well, they are still undefeated. So what they do here is all their social media stuff off the field. But the Warriors, they're the big improvers. Sorry.
How do you lose? Like, what do you...
If you lose, if you... Viewers. Subscribers, viewers, whatever it is on TikTok. Followers.
Followers, there you go. You got to thank your brother.
Good on
there
you go. Engagements, that's the word. So let's have a look at the Warriors. They came up with this one, and gorillas seem to be the flavour of the month. This is their gorilla.
What's up, guys? Bigfoot back for another vlog, and I'm on my way to Go Media Stadium for another Warriors game. Big W incoming. It takes me 3 days to get to Go Media Stadium. It's worth it for the Wars, though. Where is everyone? I'm about to crash out. Why did nobody tell me it's bye week?
So that's pretty good.
Very good.
AI is wonderful.
Scary.
But the Bulldogs, this is their take on TikTok. This is them doing the box bowling, which is obviously a skill or a training apparatus for the boxers. Kiraz not great at it.
That was Costa.
Costa, yeah. So I think that's for Fida. And this is our man, the answer, Drew Hutchinson.
Oh, wow.
Look at Drew. See, it's all about patience. So what I thought, now we're going to have a crack. Nathan, that's you don't put that in your mouth, by the way, Nathan.
Good one.
All right, so put this over your melon.
What's this one all wet for?
And so you've got to stand up to do it.
But no, seriously, it's all wet.
You want to do it, Scully?
I can't see, can I? I'm blind.
Very hard. All right, let's have a crack. Ready?
Oh, Hornby.
Anyway, that's good. Scully, you have a go. Come on, Scully.
I can't see, can I?
Yeah, Matthew, come on.
We're going to go to a break.
It might help you.
We'll go to a break. But I'll tell you what, boys, if Muhammad Ali was here, he'd be shitting himself to
Yeah,
lunch.
well, that's good, Nathan. Look at that.
Very good. Boom. Oh. We're going to take a break. We've got Scully's greatest hits coming up. But don't forget, Tim Zoo versus Fendora, July 20. Coming up soon.
Oh my goodness! Can he survive this?
It's all happening here. Good on you, boys. Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Jeez, where'd you find these blokes? Eh? Now it's time for Scully's greatest hits. Now, Scully, you played at Hull, Leeds, Huddersfield and Doncaster at the back end, but in Australia, remember your time at Balmain and, of course, had 9 games with West. Let's have a look at some of this stuff.
Baker up in the air, but it's come off a Balmain player. I think it's taken beautifully here by Garry Schofield. He's off being chased by Brett Ross. Will Ross get to him? Everyone else has given up the chase, and I think Garry Schofield will outpace a lot of them and in for a try.
Charge down, a chance for Hardwick. Yes, it's a try. A try for Garry Schofield. Look out, South. And it's Gardner. And the backing up of Schofield brings another try. He's up to the corner line as the defence closes in on him. He gets it away to Schofield, and Schofield in the score for Western Suburbs. Gale puts the kick back towards the blind side. Was Davidson in front of the kicker? I don't know, but that's Schofield putting his hand on the ball. On to Gale, now to Brooks. Brooks goes over the top of them. Schofield. Rumbling cuts him out. Intercepted by Schofield. Don't worry about chasing. I don't think there's a hope in the world. Thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boy. Schofield scores his third.
Yeah. Scully, and that's the thing you and Ellery have in common in the fact that you went to Balmain, had a great season there, then had a short stint at West. Did you love your time here in Australia?
Oh, absolutely. And the great thing when I came to the Balmain Tigers, and I knew that there was an up-and-coming young side and the quality players what they had. And by the way, this man at the side of me, he's the best hooker that's ever played the game. I can reassure you.
I never knew you played hooker.
Oh, yeah. He's the best hooker. Yeah. But also too, then Wayne Pearce, Cyril Blocker, and Gary Jack, and the young kids coming through. But what helped me so much, Matty, was the Australian coach at the time was Frank Stanton, and he was a Balmain coach. And I was a player. My father said to me when I started out as a 9-year-old, if the ball's not coming to you, you go looking for it. Mm-hmm. And when I met Frank, his first words to me was, listen, lad, you're here to score us tries, you've got a free roll. That was music to my ears. Yeah. Saying that to a 19-year-old British kid from there, and I say, I finished at the top try scorer for Balmain that year, and finished at the joint top try scorer of the year after in '86 with Phil Blake. But playing with the quality players, but also the way they took to me as well. You know, the quality of players what we had from there, and the respect they gave me. But from my point of view, was I had to make sure that I got into the Australian lifestyle straight away. And also, not
from what I understand, Ellery had to as well.
but not just off the field, but on it as well, because what it was different in England compared to in Australia, everything was always intense. Everything was always to making sure when you was doing the training, you had to jog to everywhere, which learned a lesson for me. And it wasn't a matter of, oh, well, we don't do this in England, we don't do that in England. You have to switch on straight away and get straight into it. And the way the players helped me out and took to me, it was a massive, massive help.
Well, Gaz, your Test career, you're the most capped player for Great Britain, 48 games. 46. 3 for England. But the thing about it is, as like watching you play, Scully, it's what, like, you reserved your best for the Aussies. I remember waking up watching some of the games, some of your stuff you did for Great Britain against Australia in some of the biggest stadiums. Let's have a look at some of your stuff.
Drummond out of one, straightening. He's got support, so away it goes out of the Great Britain. He's in to score. Garry Schofield, the 18-year-old centre. Away it goes out on the overside of the ruck to Crooks. Crooks trying to weave his way through. Got to pass away brilliantly to Schofield. Schofield in good time. Crooks has gone right through the middle of the gap. Showed a pass back on the inside. Put forward to the referee's allowed it. Gone to Schofield. He comes upfield. The Baines, no, he doesn't. Gets a pass by Connor. This will be the first Great Britain try. Cut out pass to Burton. Then Myler. Myler's into the clear. He's got Schofield on the inside. He goes up to the field of Schofield. He'll probably score. He will. It's a beautiful try to Great Britain. Pinner. Myler. Good way. Crooks. Crooks out to Stevenson. Inside to Schofield. It's a magic try.
Platt. Switch. Edwards. Schofield kicks to the end goal. It gets away. Another one.
Incredible. Benny, to you. At Balmain, you know, and I imagine a lot of it to do with Keith Barnes. Had some of the greatest English players at the Tigers through in the 80s. I mean, Andy Courier, Ellery, Gaz, Tony Myler, Lee Crooks, Sean Edwards. What was it like, you know, the impact of those players?
Well, those impact players certainly, you know, turned the club around. You know, the Balmain at the time, we were looking for extra strike power out wide, and the likes of the Ellery handlers and this bloke on my right-hand side were the people who could just create something from nothing. Andy Courier was another one also that could make something out of nothing. But this bloke beside me, Keith Barnes, came to me. I was working with Keith at the Balmain Lease Club at the time. I was a development officer, and he said, this young kid from England, Garry Schofield, is something that he's never seen in all of his career, player and as administrator. And the moment this bloke came onto the field and touched the first training session with, we knew this bloke was just electric. And just an opportunist, just one of the wonderful, very balanced, and just could just sniff out a try from anywhere.
Hence the nickname, the Poacher.
The Poacher.
Ray French gave me that. Yeah. I took an interception at Bradford and went 90 yards, and it stuck from there. To be honest with you.
Oh, look at that man, Schofield. They call him the Poacher.
You play for Wigan, but that's a shocking.
But those commentary. I remember going to him and Eddie Waring and those blokes. There they go.
Up and unders and what have you from there. But also, he just mentioned the great man Keith Barnes, you know, and when I got the phone call and the approach from Keith Barnes from there, and well, he was a Welshman, and you know, from there, but he helped myself and my family, my wife Adele from there, and he was a massive help. He made sure that everything was right to make sure that we was happy, and we was very happy.
Right, well, we're going to take a break. After the break, we've got Hammy. Stay with us. Hammy, brother, welcome, mate. You learned your lessons.
Well, we did. I always say the Tigers never lose. We either win or we learn. School holidays just kicked off, so no learning for the next 3 weeks. Great time to be a Tigers fan.
Fantastic, fantastic. No, it was very, very good. They played fantastic. Now, you went into blues camp this week.
Yeah, I did. I had a crack at just getting the boys into the right sort of mindset for a decider. So let's see how it went. Boys, welcome. Obviously, we blew the budget on Volk for the last one of these, so I had to go internal with the talent this time. Sorry about that.
Sports are really scraping the barrel.
Massively, yep. Obviously, it's a decider. You're playing next week, so all the theme of all these questions are just getting you to decide stuff. So they're sort of either-or sort of questions, but just to get you in that mindset so you're ready for Game 3 next week. Pick and stick or sack captain after Game 1?
I'm more of a pick and stick guy myself.
Yeah?
Pick and stick because we stuck with Yowie.
Shows a bit more loyalty. Copying a spray from Ricky Stewart or copying a spray from the Las Vegas Police Department?
The sticky one was worse.
Sharing your home ground with Souths or sharing an avocado with Lindsay Collins?
I'm probably going the avocado.
Share the avocado?
Yeah. Like the seed or the...
Well, I guess the seed's part of it as well.
Nah, yeah, the avocado.
Get Volk's salary after tax or win Game 3?
God damn.
Oh, man. I can't say the answer to...
Yeah, like Volk's answer, you can't say it on the script.
Losing an Origin game or having work tomorrow?
That's crazy. Probably work.
All right, last one. Being on a media ban or not getting kicked off to?
I'd rather media ban. Yeah, I wouldn't have to talk to nothing about yourself. Yeah, media ban for sure then.
Bit harsh.
Now, Hammy, I'll tell you what, Sports Bet tried July. The boys are really weighing in. Good to see.
The boys and the girls. The girls actually usually take us to the cleaners. They've only had 1 or 2 rounds to do it in the past. All 4 rounds of NRLW this year are included in Try July. So it's $5 grand for every try celebration to the Australian Skincare Foundation or the Player Hardship Fund. Been some great ones so far. We've already got about 100 grand in the kitty after the first weekend. Here's my sort of top 3 so far. So obviously, Nick Meaney went on a little bit of a tear last night for the Melbourne Storm. He actually had two try celebrations, a bit of synchronised swimming there to kick us off with.
That was just odd.
Yeah. It was a bit strange.
Yeah, they were struggling at the time. Bellyache would have loved that.
Yes. Yeah. And this one here is off TikTok, Fletcher. You might have caught this one on TikTok.
What? Is it rude?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that was Nick Meaney. The second one was the Raiders girls. I don't know if you saw this one. Up the milk. So they got a try there, and then it descended into a little bit of milking. So. So that was number 2. I mean, what's going on here? Technique was all right, but this is how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Have we got it?
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So anyway, just a little. If they're going to go back to the well, that's the technique. And then the last.
The old one we go, it's not a cow, Fletcher, it's a bull.
And then the sitting in #1 position so far from the Dragons, we had Zali Hopkins, the captain. She recreated the Piggy Riddell, I think one of our favourites, over the fence there, which is great. Yeah. And then obviously Sportsnet proud supporters are having a crack. The cameraman had a crack at actually trying to locate Piggy Riddell in the stands.
No way. No.
Piggy Riddell off Timu. Keep going.
Look,
and there he is.
That was good.
Anyway, we're off to a fly. A lot of great celebrations. They've got a great course, so
very good. Now, Hammy, the grand final 2025.
Yeah, premiership market. Obviously, the Storm are still out in front. The Doggies had a loss the other day, so they've eased a little bit to the Broncos. They're now equal second with the Raiders.
Panthers, look at that.
Yeah, they're still there. They are $7.50. The other movers this week were the Broncos. They shaved $4 off their price. Not on the graphic there, but they were $12. Knocked off the Dogs. They're into $8 now.
Now, what about Origin 3? Where's the money going?
Yeah, well, interesting. We've actually taken twice as many bets on the Maroons, but we've probably had some bigger bets on the Blues. So very similar prices to Game 2 there, but yeah, the Blues pretty warm favourites at home.
Anytime?
Anytime try scorer, yep. Latrell Mitchell's too good a player to go through a whole Origin series without scoring as far as I'm concerned. Can you believe this? Best back try scorer, Josh Papali'i. Coming back into the frame. Obviously, he scored in his big record-breaking game the other day. Yeah. I don't mind that one. NarrativeBet.com/Josh Papali'i.
Now, Wally Lewis medal. Got to be favourite. Got to be Payne Haas.
Yeah, Payne Haas. He's been very good. Obviously, Brian Tuttle as well. I think worth a look. Got a hat-trick in the last game, 200 metres plus in both games. And obviously, Cameron Munster, man of the match in Game 2. If Queensland win, he'll go very close.
Yeah. Now, get him on side straight after this.
Get him on side straight after this. They're absolutely flying at the moment. 2 shows now. You got one on Thursday night, straight after the show, and a little bit later on this evening, Joel and the boys absolutely killing it.
Joel's flying.
Oh, mate. You've got to check it out.
You had 2 shows now.
2 shows.
New diet's going good too, Charles.
On fire. Doing the City Surf.
City Surf, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, see that when I believe that when I see it. Hey, Gaz, it's been so good having you on, mate. Fantastic, mate. And Benny, always, my man. Always. Now, don't forget the F1 and also Aussies versus the Windies and the cricket is on tonight. Don't forget about that. Last word, though, Hammy. Josh Papali'i, big papa. Does he get across the line in Origin?
$13, yes.
Yeah, spoke like a true Queenslander. Guys, have a good one. We'll see you on Thursday night. Bye-bye.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.